Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Your host, V&M General Manager Kevin Jean and Daiwa Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff will keep you up to date on what's happening on the best lakes in the Arklatex region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, two guys who have fished at a high level with Pro-Am experience with ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers with a wealth of knowledge and willing to share. So pull up a chair, kick back, and see why so many anglers watch Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Not good.
Houston, we have a problem. And we're back. I don't know if we ever left, but anyway. Controlling this room and cussing in the background, you may
Not
hear
a happy guy
James
right now.
Stanfield, our producer, who is not happy with our internet situation. And I understand. I've actually told him, we actually do this from a studio here at my house, and we've had some internet issues the last 5 days. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, hopefully we'll get through the show without much problem. It's about a 2-minute show, so it won't take us long. We'll be able to save it and everything. But anyhow, now we got a good show lined up for you today. And I'm Ranger Diver Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean. And today's show, warming temperatures with this week, along with a full moon late this week, Kevin, could mean a lot of good fishing going on this next week.
Yeah, we say that, but Steve, there was three sacks over 30 caught this past weekend.
They were a little early, that's all I can say.
So, yeah, I mean, you can't say the fishing's going to get better because, my goodness gracious, they caught them this weekend. Not only in Toledo Bend, there was two, I've got the results in here, but I want to say there was two 30-pound sacks caught on Lake of the Pines in a small little tournament that I seen posted online up there. So I don't know what happened Saturday, but they caught them.
Yeah, whatever it was, the fish turned on. They moved, they pulled up, and it's one thing. As anglers, we tend to rush everything.
Yeah.
We're in February. We're wanting them to be on the bank, and well, it's finally here. That time of year is finally here, and for the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, it could be really good as we have these warmer temperatures pulling up.
Yeah.
And in our region. So, but again, as Kevin alluded to, 3 bags over 30 in the Outlaws outdoor event this past week. Winning team, Cole Moore, who has got to be, and I'm going to say this, Kevin, Cole, the next time you come through Natchitoches, you will be buying lunch for me and Kevin.
That is true.
At Nikki's Mexican restaurant, you're buying lunch next time because, dude, he's made more money in the last month than we make in 4 months.
Yeah, that is very true there also as well. But, Steve, we had Cole on, I don't know, maybe a month ago when he had a 25-pound or 26-pound stringer on Toledo Bend last time. So we know kind of what he was doing. It's going to be interesting to hear if he's still doing the same thing, if he had to relocate the fish, or if he's just got a new technique going. Cole spends all his time on the water. I mean, that's what he does for a living. So kind of hear how he's moving with the fish here.
Cole's a testament to what a lot of guys that I know personally, some older guys have always said. If you can stay on one body of water and keep up with the fish, stay with them instead of having to switch from here to Rayburn to Texoma to Lake of the Pines and rotating all these lakes, and they're all a little different. When you can stay on one body of water, Kevin, like Cole's been doing, and have success, boy, I tell you what, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But before we get to Cole, and again, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover the Outlaw Outdoors event. We got the Despino tire results. We've got that as well. And but before we get to that, we're going to take a little quick break, recognize a few of our awesome sponsors when we return with more Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6, just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santone, Spro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49 or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Again, thank you for tuning us in. We appreciate you. We want to recognize our fine sponsors, Toledo Health, The Boat Shop, and 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors. Thank you one and all. We appreciate all you guys. On the Tackle Talk Hotline, we have the man, and he's starting to become a legend, not a myth, but a legend now. Cole Moore, who teamed up with his, that's your brother Richard, right?
His dad.
Oh, it's his dad. Oh, his dad, and take over actually it won the Outlaw Outdoors team event number 3 on Toledo Bend. And Cole, man, you're on a roll. I mean, they say momentum is one of those positive things in bass fishing that it's very important.
Oh yes, sir, for sure, and it's been rolling here lately, and I hope it keeps going.
And we're going to talk about momentum here because I'm fixing to call him out. And Cole, I've known Cole since he was 2 years old.
Knee-high to a grasshopper.
I've known him since before he knew how to throw a rod. And Cole has been fishing Toledo Bend his whole life. He lives there, has been fishing there his whole life, and he's got guides there. He's never caught a 10.
Yeah,
he's never caught a 10. Matter of fact, I was making fun of him for it back in December or so. Now, how many have you caught now, Cole?
Well, I've caught 2 on Toledo now, and one that I caught on Raven the other day. That was 11-15.
So you've caught 3 in the past 2 months.
Wow. No. I did catch a 10 in August.
Oh, in August, yes, yeah. Last August you caught that 10.
I've caught 2 double digits this spring.
Wow. Yes.
So speaking of 10s, the 1052 kicker, I mean, that's a great way. Was that an early fish, late fish, middle of the day? When did you catch that one?
That fish come around 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh, dang. That was a good early morning.
Did you have a limit by then, or?
Well, and see, like, that was the early morning bite because, like I told Dad, especially with that cold, like, it had been warm during the week, 2 or 3 days before the tournament, and then I knew it was going to be cold that night. I was joking with him, but I was kind of serious, too. I was like, we really don't need to go till 8:30, 9 o'clock. I was like, we're not going to catch nothing. And sure enough, we didn't till, like, 9 o'clock. The 10-pounder was the third keeper. We had caught 2 or 3 keepers, and, like, the other 2 that we had in there was maybe 3-pound fish. There wasn't no huge fish in the live well at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And once I caught the 10, then I got the ball rolling, and we just went from there.
What was your smallest fish in your bag? I mean, you had almost 33 pounds. So if you had a 10, you had 23 with 4. I mean, what was your smallest?
We had 2 4.5s, and then we had 2 that was pushing 7.
Okay, I got you.
Wow.
So, Cole, we had you on, 2-3 weeks ago, I guess, Steve, when he was catching 26, 27 pounds on Toledo last time.
Right.
And, Cole, you were catching them in 25, 30 foot of water on a rig. I'm willing to bet that's not where I'm not going to say you're not catching them everywhere, but I'm saying that's not where you're catching them at now. Have you relocated this school? Or have they moved up? Are you in a completely different part of the lake? Are you doing something completely different?
Yeah, was this new fish?
This actually was new fish, but now like the area where we was catching them, there's still fish in that area. They had just moved from there. They had moved shallower, staging fish, moved into that mid-depth range like they're supposed to do. And it just so happened I found the fish that we caught this weekend. I don't know, the week prior to it. Well, no, actually before the fish was a in. I went in there and seen them, and I was like, they're in here. But, during the fish was a in, we couldn't cross the lake because the wind was so bad, and we couldn't go to them.
Yeah.
And just so happened, luckily, they was still there come this weekend, and we was able to trail it, you know what I mean, and we could put in.
Yeah.
Cole, you're a testament to the, I was just talking about it before the break, how staying on one body of water and just keeping up with what's going on every single day, all the time, that's a huge advantage for a bass angler in a tournament setting, instead of hopping from one lake to another and always on the move and always trying to figure out where they're at on another lake. When you're able to focus on Toledo being like you have been able to, that's probably the key to your success.
Well, yes, it does help out, Steve, but like, this ain't my first year to be able to fish on Toledo Bend every day. I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, you know what I mean? And it can still kick your butt day in and day out.
Yeah.
But it's just so happened this year I've been able to stay with them and, just kind of have a feel for what the fish are doing and where they're going. So
you said this is a new group of fish, and the last group, again, was 25, 30-foot live scope and everything. You told me on that show that you saw every fish when it bit. What about this past Saturday? Did you see every fish that bit?
Yes, sir, I did.
Live scoping,
So
Steve.
live scope has been that effective for you. I mean, that's just that tells me already that you're not really fishing like 4 foot or less. That tells me you're in deeper water.
Yes, sir, correct.
Wow.
There's not much else coming up on Toledo Bend, Steve, so we're fixing a pry. I know Cole well enough.
Hey, let's
we're
get the
fixing
goods,
a pry,
man.
so,
We got him on. Let's get the goods.
We're going to go ahead and, well, I'm not going to get too much goods, but what depth range, Cole?
Man, in that mid-depth range, anywhere from 10. Well, some fish I can catch still in that 17, 18, 19 foot of water, but the majority of them, 10 to 15 foot.
10 to 15 A-rig still?
Just A-rig stuff, on hard spots.
Have you had anything on the front deck of your boat besides an A-rig in the past 3 months?
Yeah, really.
I still have, like you say, that first 3 hours, I got to try to throw something just to be doing.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll cast around, but I don't ever catch nothing.
Cole.
I've been fishing a jig, but it ain't nothing but bit it.
Yeah, exactly. Cole, another thing too that I'm curious on. You say you're seeing these fish. As a guy I'm getting better with live scope, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm definitely getting better with it. But I went to Texoma last week to do a little pre-fishing for this upcoming event coming up this week, and I could see fish, but I could not make them bite. What I want people to understand is, everybody says, well, live scope's cheating, and I'm like, wait a minute. Just because you can see them don't always mean you can catch them.
No, absolutely not. What's your ratio, Cole, of catching per how many fish you see? I mean, do you catch one fish for every 10 you see?
Man, it depends on the day.
Yeah. Saturday, they bit Saturday because they freaking caught them.
Yeah.
They obviously bit, but they didn't bite as good as they did during the week when it was warm. I know, like far as just seeing a fish, throwing over there, and if you wanted to catch it, you could catch it. Now, Saturday, that was not the case. Not every one of them would do it. So I would say the ratio would probably be, like you say, 1 to 5 or 6, maybe. I'm not real sure on that.
So you say this is a new group of fish, Cole, and you're catching them off live scope. You're seeing every one of them bite it. Is this a group, like when you're scanning, do you see 3 or 4, or do you see a single fish, throw at that fish, and then find another single fish, throw at that fish?
No, man, when you get like in the area where they're at, there's quite a few fish around. I mean, it'd be just like traditional pulling up, you know what I mean? You got a spot where you throw it and you catch several fish off of it. It's kind of the same deal. Gotcha. I'm just looking at them, not just fanny casting.
Yeah.
Cole, I talked to some other guys. They had a good tournament last weekend over there with the H&W tournament out of Shreveport, and there's some really good sticks in that Shreveport market that came down there. And some guys I talked to just, I mean, like you said, whacked them Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Weather conditions were perfect. Jerk baiting off points. They were catching 30, 40 a day. It was just, and 3-pounders by the boatloads. It just tells me the testament right now. Toledo Bend is in really good shape. You got 3 bags over 30 come in this week. You got constantly guys weighing in. Well, I think it took 17 17.
It took 19 to get a check.
Well, it took 17 in H&W last week, and I was like, man, I mean, just a lot of bags over 20 pounds. The lake is in outstanding shape right now, even without our grass that we need down on the south end.
That is correct, man. It's unreal. Like the quality of fish. Like I said, we've been doing it for a month or two. Just it gets you good feelings. Like, you know, the home pond still got them, and it's full of baits. And it's I don't know. I guess you could say it's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Especially you seen the weight Saturday. That was stout.
Yeah, stout to say the least.
Yeah. Well, Cole, you know, the last few years, let's say the last 2 for sure, the pressure on the lake has really declined. A lot of tournaments quit going there because everybody was complaining fishing.
Everybody's driving on west a little bit further.
Yeah, everybody was going towards that other lake over there in East Texas called Sam Rayburn. But, you know, I wonder if that's the key. Maybe the lake had a chance to recover.
I do believe it's helped a little bit. You know, like as far as us locals that live there, we like to fish in tournaments on Toledo, not have to go to Rayburn and get our butts kicked every time.
Yeah.
But, like, it feels good to fish on Toledo, but then, like, not being able to have tournaments the past couple of years, and then you finally get a couple tournaments and you see the weights it put out, you know, it kind of shows a sign that it did help, you know, not as much pressure on the lake. Because there was days in the past year or so that you could go on Toledo Bend and not hardly see a boat out there.
You're right.
There for 4 or 5 years, you couldn't go out there without seeing 100 of them.
Yeah.
Cole's a guy that guides on Toledo a lot. If somebody wants to just, you know, weekend warrior wants to go out and go fishing on Toledo, hearing about all these weights, can a guy go pick up a trap and a spinnerbait and go catch them right now?
See, like right now, get a couple days of warm weather for sure.
Yeah.
Go up there, you can catch them about on any bait.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Cole, I got to ask, and I got to call him out, and I hope your dad is listening, Richard Moore. So let me tell you this story, Steve. So, again, I've known this family my whole life.
Yeah.
His dad, Richard Moore, used to fish a pretty good bit. Matter of fact, him and my uncle, Galen Tony, they fish a lot of team tournaments and everything. And I think Richard got burnt out maybe a little bit, didn't fish as much. Cole came up, and matter of fact, me and Cole fished some team stuff together for a year or so, just, you know, kind of on and off. Richard was hunting or doing something. He wasn't fishing much. Well, and he hadn't fished much the last 3 or 4 years at all.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Steve, what do you know?
Cole starts doing good.
Cole catches, you know, starts really catching a few, and Richard's in every tournament all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he come out of the woods and went back in the boat, didn't he? Yeah.
all of a sudden, when your son catches some 10-pounders and says, hey, Dad, I'm on 20, 30 pounds, Richard's been in every tournament with you for how many in a row now, Cole?
I think, me and him fished 3 on Toledo, and we fished 1 on Rayburn. We fished the Bass Champs on Rayburn.
That's the most tournaments he's fished in the past 5 years.
Wow.
Probably the past 10 years.
Exactly. So, Richard, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, Cole says, Dad, I'm on him. And, hey, Pops comes out of retirement.
Let's go.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I fished that first one, the first fisherman, and we ended up winning it. And I was like, what? That might be my good luck charm. Well, I brought him along in every one of them, and it keeps going.
Well, as long as you're cashing them checks, I don't think you're getting rid of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, not at all. That's what he said.
Hey, and enjoy those times with your dad, Cole, because, man, we all know, we've all been, I know myself, that they don't, the day does come when they're not there anymore, and it's hard to fish, and you'll have some great memories with your dad in the boat with you.
Oh, yes, sir. We've made a lot of good memories we'll never forget this spring.
Yeah. Amen. All right, Cole, man, we thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Just text Kevin when you're coming through Natchitoches.
We'll be looking forward to lunch.
Yeah, we'll meet you at Nikki's, and we'll go from there.
All right, guys. Well, I sure appreciate y'all having me.
All right,
Thanks,
Cole Moore. And we enjoy Cole. We like picking with him. He's a great guy, and but Cole, we are expecting lunch. So we ain't forgetting that. So you owe us, by the way. But anyhow, all that being said, we're going to take one more quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to wrap up the Despino tournament, and we're going to actually give you a little update on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Tour. Got some local guys actually doing pretty good, and so we'll give you a little update on that as well, as they're live fishing right now as we speak, and upcoming events in our region on Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We'll be back in just a second.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live. Again, thank you for joining us this morning, as we just hung up with Cole Moore, who was actually on fire on Toledo Bend, had a great tournament with Outlaw Outdoors. And Kevin, real quick, this segment is presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, and the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches. 2 locations, Nacogdoches and Broadus, Texas. Kevin, give us the top 10 or 12 from the Outlaw Outdoors on Toledo Bend.
So, yeah, Outlaw Team Series number 3, Toledo Bend. This was Saturday. Colmore, Richard Moore, 32.79 with a 10.52 big fish. The other just smoking hot stick on Toledo Bend right now, Tater Reynolds. George Jean Jr. had 30.45 with a 9.99 big fish.
Wow.
Third place, Cody Pitt by himself had 30.25. Okay? And so 30 pounds, Steve, and he got third. 30.25 gets third place. Fourth place, Marshall Hughes, Cole Stewart, 29.87, almost 30 pounds.
And by the way, the top, 3 or 4 we've had on the show this year at one point.
The top 4 we've had on the show. Top 4 we've had on the show. Fifth place, TJ Goodwin, Philip Crulia, 27.92. Fifth place, 27.92 with a 9.93 big fish.
Yeah.
Sixth place, Brad Hildebrandt and Jordan Bro, 25.43. Seventh place, Ronnie Madul, 22.91. Eighth place, Josh Champagne, Brooks Champagne, 21.25. Ninth place, Benji Gillette, Dustin Rivers, 21 even. And 10th, John Barea, Doug Moreau, 20.62. I'm going to finish it out here. 11th place, Michael Easernack, Andrew Dean, 20.55. 12th place, Matthew Armand, Jerry Williams, 20.04. So you had 12 20-pound stringers, Steve. And 13th place,
which was the last place paid.
The last check, 1980. 1980. Martin, James Larimore. They had, I think, 109 boats, 100 and somewhere around that range.
Yeah.
So, a decent turnout for the very first ever Outlaw Team Series event on Toledo Bend. decent turnout, especially under the weather conditions. So hopefully Clint and Stacy, we'll see them come back to Toledo Bend, especially with them kind of weights.
Yeah, when you look at the 6th place team, Brad Hildebrandt and Jordan Bro, those guys had 25.43. Now it doesn't say what their big fish was, but that's basically that's over a 5 pound average.
It gave them 6th.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's crazy. That'll win most tournaments all year long, 25 pound bag, and they were 6th. So I'm telling you, folks, Toledo Bend is on fire, and I think it is back. So congratulations to all those guys. Despino had I don't know the numbers. Do you know how many?
200 and something.
I figured 200 plus. That's pretty normal for them. Thomas McMillan, John Price won this event. Thomas McMillan, I believe, is out of Monroe.
Yes.
And
both of them are. Both those guys are out of Monroe.
Both those guys are. And a friend of mine thought that was Mark Price. And I said, no, I think this is a different guy. Mark Price is the one who used to fish with Martin Elshot all the time.
Mark Price.
Is that Mark?
Mm-hmm.
So his name is John on this instead of Mark? It says John Price. And I've never seen him named John before. I've always been Mark. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's a different guy or not.
Should be Mark Price. Yeah, should be Mark Price.
But anyway, they won it with 27.43. And if anybody that knows Mark Price from Ruston, Mark is a guy that fished with Martin Elshot. They were one of the best teams that's ever come through this region ever. I mean, they just when they backed their boat in the water, you that's who you had to beat. So congratulations to Thomas McMillan and John Mark Price, whatever if it's John, whatever. But anyway, and second place was Scott Durand and Randy Cooper. They finished second with 21.50. They had an 8.22 kicker. And by the way, Thomas McMillan, they had a 10.12 kicker. So Oscar Langeli and James Kempsey, they were third with 21.01. Fourth was Aaron Borges and Shannon Thibodeau. They had a 7.20 kicker for 20.93 pounds. Richard Stevens, Russell Miller were fifth with 20.27. And just looking on down the list here, the top, let's see here. I don't know how far down they paid, but look at 24th for sure was 15.88 for a $500 check. It's Cody Beasley. That's from right out here at Lakeview. I know Cody, good angler. So, but anyway, took at least 14, 15 pounds to get a check last weekend at this event. So, but anyway, congratulations to all those guys. And again, nobody does it better. Randy Despino just puts on a great job. I think that money is split, if I'm not mistaken. I had Randy on a few weeks ago. That money is split between, I think, 3 different hospitals in Louisiana. Right. And they do a great job. This is always just a fun event. A lot of father-sons and grandpas fishing this event. It's just a good open team tournament. So.
And Steve, we was talking about 30-pound bags being caught. So I saw this on one of the Facebook forums and post. It was a local club. I want to say a Shreveport club, maybe. I don't know exactly what it was, but they were Lake of the Pines on Saturday. Okay. They had 3 bags over 30 as well. They had first place was 37.14. This is a team derby. Okay.
37.14.
God. Listen, second place is 36.09. Third place was 30.24.
That is crazy.
I mean, Saturday, something went on Saturday, but Lake of the Pines, we both know how good Lake of the Pines is. Yeah. Lake of the Pines is a heck of a lake, especially when it gets on fire. Yep. So, I mean, Lake of the Pines, Toledo Bend, both kick out 3 30-pound stringers.
And you guys that are looking to fish, the ABA Solo 150, I'm sure Chris don't mind me going in and saying this. Next year, the tournament trail will be Lake of the Pines, Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend.
I'm signed up now.
So, I'm telling you right now, that'll be one heck of a circuit. Lake of the Pines, Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, 3 area lakes right here in our neck of the woods. You guys need to load up and plan on fishing that next year in 2023. So, but anyhow, let's see here. Look, real quick update after day 1 on the Harris Chain Tackle Warehouse.
Where's Justin Cooper at? Did he catch anything?
He was in 8th with 18.15 after yesterday. Now he's in 18th, middle of the day today. He's caught a little over 8 pounds today, but he's got 4 hours left to fish. Clark Ream was in 12th. Dickie Newberry was in 13th going into today. Tommy Dickerson, another area angler from Rayburn, he was in 18th. And
Colby Miller, Alexandria kid, V&M Pro Staff guy as well, had 17.05 one day. When he has 15.04 today, he sat in 6th.
Yeah. And the guy that I've been watching quite a bit this morning, Grant Galloway, former Mississippi State angler. He was leading it yesterday with 23:09 after day one. And he's in that top 2 or 3 still at this time.
Right.
And but if you want to watch that, hey, Major League Fishing does a great job. JT Kinney and Marty Stone, just absolutely first-class guys, do a heck of a job covering these events. And it's right now it's on
MLF Live.
MLF Live, excuse me, I can't want to say Facebook Live. And so you can watch today, tomorrow, and there's 2 days left after today.
Correct.
It's a 4-day event. So, but anyhow, watch it. Starts at 8 o'clock every morning, and so tune that in. Upcoming events, you got the ABA Solo 150, which if you wasn't in 10 days before this past Friday, this coming Friday, you're not in. It's too late to get in that one anyway. But it's 18th and 19th on Texoma. March 26th, Dylan Poche event on Toledo. That could be a great tournament.
That is going to be a huge. I think this cold weather has maybe held some people back from showing up, especially going to tournaments, especially as cold as been in the mornings. I think the Poche tournament, Bert Poche, right now, I'm telling you, you better be ready because I'm willing to bet over 300 teams in that event.
It could
First place guaranteed $20,000.
Yeah.
Out of Cypress Bend, the way the lake's fishing right now, and it's just setting up to be a whack fest for that weekend. It's the weekend after the full moon. Everything's warming up. Everything will be good and warm by then. I'm expecting that to be a really, really good turnout.
Also, March 27th, Bass Champs is headed for Lake Fork Marina and Motel. They'll be putting in right there and having that Mega Bass tournament out of Lake Fork Marina. So check that out as well. Anything else?
This week, Bass Champs is going to OH Ivy.
Oh, really?
All these 16 and 17 pound stringer, 16 and 17 pound fish are being caught. I'm gonna keep my eyes open to them results when they get posted Saturday night. That's gonna be interesting.
That will be interesting.
That's gonna be interesting, and I'm interested to see how many boats end up on that Little B Lake. Fishing that event. Yeah.
What would you compare that lake to? Is it like Cross Lake in our region, or even the Sibley?
The size, you can't compare it to a lake. There's nothing like it. It's around here, but size-wise, Steve, I mean, it's
like
Lake of the Pines size.
Lake of the Pines?
I would think around about that.
All right. Well, hey, Bass Cash Bash.
Get registered.
Man,
don't be
guys,
that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. Sign up. They're catching them. A lot of guys are catching tagfish, and a lot of guys are missing out on a lot of money. Go to their Facebook page. You'll see for yourself how many guys are catching tagfish, but they weren't signed up. One guy caught 2 fish in one day, and he wasn't signed up. So don't be that guy. Get signed up for Bass Cash Bash, especially if you're going to Toledo, Sam Rayburn, Caddo Lake in our region right now. They are on fire. So have a good time. Thank you for tuning us in. We appreciate you. If you want to catch us, you can catch us on Facebook, podcast, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, the whole 9 yards.
Subscribe to YouTube.
Oh, we hit our 1,000th.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
We did hit our 1,000th subscriber. Yes. We appreciate all you guys, and thank you. Continue to spread the word, though. Now we got to shoot for 2,000. So we got to set a new record. But anyway, anything else?
I think that does it for this week.
I think that's going to do it. We appreciate you once again for tuning us in. We're going to wrap this thing up. Again, catch us. If you want to be a part of this program as a sponsor, message us on our Facebook page. We'll make sure we get you a packet out. Kevin will send you one and be in contact with you. And because again, our numbers are growing, our viewership is growing. We thank you again. We're probably around 2,500, 3,000 views a week. That's a lot of exposure for anybody who wants to become a part of this program. So thank you for tuning us in. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live. We'll be back on Tuesday next week. Tuesday next week. Our regular time, 11:30 next Tuesday. We'll see you then.